What's good, YouTube? We are back in another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder beating the Indiana Pacers in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. We're going to talk about what exactly happened, what went wrong for the Indiana Pacers, and what the OKC Thunder did so well to be able to take this pivotal Game 2 in this best-of-7 series. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. For starters, Game 2's performance from the Thunder was what most people expected Game 1 to be like. Not myself, but most people, including the OKC Thunder themselves, they thought it was going to go out there, out-hustle them, just pretty much make it a double-digit lead for the majority of the ball game. And that's what happened in Game 2. Why? Because SGA has been one of the best finals performers within the first two games of the finals. For Game 1, he had 34 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Cool, right? Game 2 follows that up with 38 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. What a finals debut from Shai. If you know me, my prediction is I'm picking with the Pacers, but this is still nonetheless a magnificent performance from Shai. I'm not panicking, though, if I'm Indiana, because they've already taken home court. Indiana will be absolutely banging come Game 3. However, this game was a must-win for the Thunder because they can't afford to go down 2-0 heading into Indiana. They needed this game, and they went out there and they did their thing. And a big reason why they were able to take these games was because of the others. Alex Caruso had more points than anyone on the Indiana Pacers. He had 20 points. No one on the Pacers cracked 20 points. Alex Caruso had it himself. He had 4 threes, and bro, it feels like he had a million steals, but he ended up with only just one, which, I don't know, my eyes was telling me he had way more than that. Aaron Wiggins dropping 5 threes, 2 from logo, bro. I swear he was looking like prime James Harden out there, prime Steph Curry. It was crazy to see that. And when I saw that, I just knew this game was going to go to the Thunder. And, you know, not that the Thunder should panic, but, man, a lot of the Thunder's offense was being able to be produced because they had the momentum. When they had the confidence, these guys were just able to just shoot it and drill it. Why? Because the pressure was not on them whatsoever. And that's why the Pacers were able to shorten this lead to around like 13 points. I feel like that happened like 4 or 5 times within this game alone. However, they weren't able to capitalize on that because whenever the lead did get cut down to 13, you saw Mark Dagnall call a timeout, and next you know the Thunder's back up to 20. And then Rick Carlisle calls timeout, and it's just a back and forth between whenever I think it was like midway through the second quarter beyond. That was pretty much how the game went. The Thunder went up big, and then from there on out, it was back to 13, back to 20, back 13, back to 20. For the Pacers, they just need one home game within the next 2 to keep the series afloat because they were not supposed to take Game 1. And they were in the same situation when it came to the Knicks because they stole that Game 1. They were not supposed to win that whatsoever, and they did. The Knicks bounced back in Game 2. Game 3 headed into Indy. You saw what happened. For the next Game 3 and Game 4, the Pacers did take that to go up 3-1. So I'm not necessarily counting Indiana out just because of its performance by OKC. However, it is worth mentioning from OKC's end, they were in a similar position when it came to the Denver series when they had Game 1 stolen from them, similar to how the Pacers just did. They won Game 2 in blowout fashion by like damn near 40 points. But then Game 3, they dropped it. And the OKC Thunder cannot afford to do that, especially not against the Indiana Pacers, who you can't sleep on them, bro. You cannot sleep on the Pacers. And that just goes to show how good of a team the Denver Nuggets were to be able to do that. But I'd say that the Pacers are an even better team than the Denver Nuggets. So I'm super stoked for Game 3. However, the key to victory for the Pacers for the next 2 games is going to be mitigating the others. You know Shai's going to get his own. If there's any player that's been able to get to their spots, it's Shai Gilgeous Alexander. He's an MVP for a reason. And the big reason why he is because you can't stop him from getting to his spots. He played literally a flawless game. He made every single pass he was supposed to. He put up every shot he was supposed to. He didn't force anything. What you need to do is worry about the others. Game 1, Chet only had 6 points. This game, he finished with 15. He really got it popping off for them in the first quarter. If Chet didn't have that run in the first quarter, the Pacers might have seen a pretty decent lead early on. And the biggest thing the Pacers need to focus on, particularly one Pacer, and that is Tyrese Haliburton, is to become a scorer. Bro, Hallie, the most hesitation I've ever seen throughout the postseason was in these first 2 games. Yes, he drew that big game winner in game 1. Absolute magical moment. But the rest of that game, he was super hesitant. He was not putting up shots. He was kind of like afraid to, in a way. He was always looking for the next pass. I think that the key to this series is Haliburton making himself a scorer, because that's the thing about Haliburton. He can do both. Not only can he be a primary scorer, he can be a primary playmaker as well. He needs to be a primary scorer. And the reason why, look, I don't like Richard Jefferson myself, okay? And when he said that game 1 and game 2, it kept pissing me off where he kept saying, you can't be shooting tornadoes. You can't be shooting tornadoes. Bro, I swear he said that on the broadcast like at least 7 times, bro. Richard Jefferson, you're cool. I don't like you as a commentator, bro. But it's true, though. Haliburton truly needs to get to his spots and start taking more jumpers, because as Haliburton knocks those down, that's going to open it up for everyone else. Pascal Siakam was just throwing shots up there, bro. He had an inefficient, I think he had like 27% from the field goal. You want to open up spots for others, you need to score yourself, because then you're going to get more gravity, more attention towards you, and that's how the space gets to become more open and your shooters get to knock down shots. And you saw that within the last few minutes of the game, within the fourth quarter. Tyrese put up like 12 points in the fourth quarter alone. Low-key, it was garbage time though, but you see the vision. It's possible. It can happen. And that's what I need from Tyrese in Game 3. I'm super stoked for this series. It's going to be a good one. I know that Game 3 and Game 4, Indiana's going to be absolutely rocking. The Thunder fans were rocking in Game 1 and Game 2 as well. Man, I don't know. If you're hating on this series being just two small market teams, you don't understand how passionate these two fan bases are about basketball. Honestly, bro, when it comes to like not having the most fans, but when it comes to the most passionate fans, it's got to be like these two teams are in the top 5, no doubt about it. I'm super stoked for this series. Leave a like, subscribe down below if you're still here. Just know I appreciate you. Let me know who you got winning this series. What do you think is going to happen in Game 3 and Game 4? Let me know your predictions down below. I'm going to cover every single one of those games. I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care.